This is the feeling when cringe publishers shut down the server to their live service game, which you paid full price for. But that's alright, because what if I told you the days of publishers just erasing our games might be coming to an end? The Stop Killing Games movement just shifted from a grassroots petition into a full-blown legal warfare. Now, this is a massive lawsuit against Ubisoft in France, and Ross, the legend, as the movement's founder, he will be heading straight to the EU Parliament. Crazy! Let's start with the biggest nuke dropped this week. Ubisoft killed this game's server back in March 2024, essentially deleting the game from existence and telling players they never actually own it. Yeah, good job on that, dumbass. Where people already bought that game, people already spent money on that game, and they just stop it. They would stop the server, which means in that case, you cannot play it anymore. They don't give you any option to have like a private server to run so that you can at least from time to time, you would visit back the game to enjoy it back because you've already spent money for it, right? All the control is on their hands, so they can just stop it in the middle like that and not giving you any refund at all. That was the problem. Well, a massive French consumer advocacy group called UFC-Que Choisir. I hope I didn't butcher that. They wasn't having it, okay? So they've officially dragged Ubisoft to court. By the way, this is not just a slap on the wrist situation. They are explicitly targeting Ubisoft's deceptive business practices. And the whole idea of that publisher can just decide to pull the plug on a product you paid without offering an alternative. Ross Scott, on his newest SKG update video, you should check on it, okay? Says this group is swinging for the fences. And here's why this matters to you. Because this lawsuit is based in France. A victory here could establish a massive legal precedent for the entire European Union. So, if Ubisoft loses, the whole you don't own your games thing would go up in smoke. But wait, it gets better. While the lawyers are disputing out in France, the legislative side of the Stop Killing Games movement is also hitting a massive milestone. The European Citizen Initiative wrapped up with over 1.4 million signatures. And because of that, on April 16th, Ross will officially be heading to the European Parliament. He was invited to speak directly to lawmakers and industry reps at the official hearing. Oh my god, I'm so proud of him. Ross even admitted, he didn't expect to be the guy at the podium, but he's still stepping up because he has heard every single industry excuses. Let's be a devil's advocate here. What if Ross is not telling the truth about the updates, right? So we just look into the third-party news. They would be more objective, right? Stop Killing Games praises French lawsuit against Ubisoft, perhaps to speak at EU Parliament at April 16th. So earlier this week, we reported on a lawsuit filed in France by consumer advocacy group UFC, I don't know how to say it, against Ubisoft for a way it sunsetted The Crew. As we noted then, the filing was fully supported by Ross Scott, Stop Killing Games initiative. And in his latest video, he talks about the impact it could have on the game industry. UFC statement, it's not UFC, okay? It's not Ultimate Fighting Championship. Ross said nothing a couple of times that the org swinging for the fence in its argument even beyond what his initiative is technically asking for in some cases. He also pointed out that the suit hinges on existing French law, which he believes could set a major precedent for other European countries if it's successful. For my understanding, basically UFC consumer advocacy group filed a lawsuit to Ubisoft that is even more beyond of what what Stop Killing Game initiative is technically asking for. So they don't even ask for that point, but the lawsuit involves in that terms also, so which is good. It can help them to support their argument in the parliament. Another major announcement in the video is word that Scott himself will be speaking at EU Parliament on Thursday. That is awesome. When the citizens initiative petition that was highlighted by the Stop Killing Games will be having official hearing. So at last, we are on the official hearing for such a long time. This is the moment where Scott would explain to the parliament about how fucked up the gaming industry currently. And he can just review this all day, he said. What a legend. According to their internal updates, the initiative actually has majority support among the members of the EU Parliament, but it's still just a rumor though. So what's next after Ross speaks on the 16th? There will be a huge press conference, of course, and SKG team is also setting up official NGOs in the US and the EU to keep the funding and the counter lobbying going long term. We're gonna talk about like far in the future, man. I'll be keeping a close eye on the April 16th hearing, by the way. So if you want to break down on what happens, make sure to hit the subscribe button. That is it for today. Thank you all. Bye bye.